What up, though, Culture Junkie Nation? It's your boy Kenshiro back with another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. Today's episode, we're going to be trying to enlighten you about the new jumping on point for new and old readers for DC Comics. It is called The Dawn of DC. It is a year-long publishing initiative that is going to highlight not only legacy characters, but newer characters, trying to bring a little bit of something for everybody. And it is heralded as a new era for the DC universe. Joining me on the show today, to the right of me, is the bearded wonder himself and compulsive game junkie, the great Dadakuji.
Oh my gosh, man. I just came up from the depths of...
Get to the point. Come on now.
It's old man brain again.
Yeah, there we go. All right. And in front of me is the man with 1,000 digital voices himself, GQ. What's up, man?
I was bred to be a warrior, Cal. Trained my entire life. Where did you train? On a farm?
I mean,
Yes.
I did say 1,000 digital voices. I didn't know it was going to be two clips at the same time. How did you do that? Okay. All right. From remote, joining us today, Fallen Marvel is here. Hello, sir.
Friday. Hope everyone has had a pretty good weekend. Let's go ahead and get this shindig off with a bang.
And returning after a long while on the bench, King Amarak has joined us in the show. What's up, man?
I exist.
Welcome back to the big time.
Yeah, I'm glad to be.
I felt that.
Right. He's like, I exist. Hey, Amarak, do me a favor. Scoot over to your left a little bit. Yeah. Scoot over to your left a little bit. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Trying to get you in the vertical.
Yes, we're trying to get you in the frame so you can be on the vertical and make the TikToks out there. So I want to say what's up to Wolverine Solid X. King Takeem is here on time. But if this is your first time joining us here on Culture Junkies Live, thank you for choosing to spend the evening with us. We were going to be entertaining you for the next hour. The first 45 minutes of our show is going to be our main topics, where we're going to cover a breadth of pop culture news and, notable things that we want to talk about. The last 15 minutes is dedicated to you, the people. The Power is Yours segment is where we will talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, whether it be movies, games, sports, anime, not really dating advice, because I don't really have anything for you in that area, or maybe even to debate what the best Easter candy is. I don't know. That's a prompt for later, seeing as how it's Holy Week. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to bring up to you is how the show works. So the show is powered by our 2 meters here. On the meter over here on my right shoulder is our follow goal meter, where you reach the follow goal, you'll be triggering a follower giveaway, where we will give away a special prize from GQ Swag Box. Last month, Drew a Gaming won. So hopefully this month will be your turn if you can hit the follower goal. So get some people to join the chat. And then the chat in the meter over here to my left shoulder is the extra life meter, where that 15 minutes of the Power is Yours, you can double that by filling up the chat, by filling up the extra life meter with bits and all of that kind of thing. Basically it rewards us and we reward you with an extra 15 minutes. With that being said, let's get to Run the Gamut. Run the Gamut is our news segment where we briefly talk about the hottest topics today. So weird news kind of dropped today in DC realm. So after the absolute abysmal failure that was Shazam! Fury of the Gods at the box office, and the hype from the Blue Beetle trailer, which we'll be talking about a little bit later, DC Films has decided to move up Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. It was going to come out later this year. They're going to move it up. I don't know if that's just their sign of saying, hey, let's just get this over with and move on to the future of the DCU. I have no I really don't know. I have no idea. There was no real explanation given for why. They're just saying, hey, we're going to move it up. I mean, the rumors are that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is a terrible film, but we'll have to see, seeing as how something like that. So the next thing I wanted to bring up to you guys. So there are reports out there that you guys know that Amazon bought the rights to Tolkien's Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Well, the show, The Rings of Power, probably one of the most expensive TV shows ever produced on Amazon. They said the reports are that 66% of the people who have at least watched 1 or 2 episodes did not finish the entire season. So only 1 in 3 people finished the entire season for the Rings of Power. Full disclosure, I am one of the 66%.
All right, well, we got to fix the remote's audio because apparently there's an issue with the remote's audio. But you can go ahead and finish what you're saying, and then Dido and I will take
Keep on talking
Interesting.
about that stuff.
That's interesting.
I didn't watch Rings of Power at all, and I can't say it's trash, but I didn't watch it because
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, it is what it is, I guess, at this point. Last but not least, last bit of news I have for you, and this is something that may or may not be exciting. I don't know. We'll have to see. Legendary Entertainment has purchased the rights to the Street Fighter IP. This includes not only film, but TV. So they could develop TV shows. They could develop movies. We'll have to see what they bring about. No actual developments are in the works as of this time, but Legendary, who put out the recent hits in the Godzilla and King Kong franchises films, didn't buy them to sit on them. So I'd imagine they're probably going to do something with them, you know?
Well, we'll see, because for whatever strange reason, up until the last video game franchise that was brought on to pop to the television, to the masses, I would say, nobody was able to get it right. And it's possible to get Street Fighter right. I mean, it doesn't have a huge complex story, and all they got to do is take the animated movie and kind of like beef it up a little bit. I won't say nobody, majority of people in this country that would go see it would not know. So, I mean, there you go. And also, Takeem, I don't know about you. You keep saying things are trash. Was it trash, or did you not like it? Because, again, that statement means that nobody's going to like it. And I do think that Hand of Omega just said he liked it. So.
I don't necessarily think it. Go ahead.
Quite a few people saying that they liked it. So obviously, if someone thinks it's trash, that's subjective. Like anything else, really.
They should use the terminology. I did not like it, therefore I believe it's trash.
Also, want to say what's up to Imora Nightmare in the chat, and also Sam Taro has joined us in the chat. Wolverine Solid X, Team King Takeem. Appreciate all of y'all.
Hello, guys. Takeem, stop telling me what to like. Yeah, she's telling me what to like. And Resident Evil 4 Remake was excellent. Stop telling me what to like. Now, I don't know. Resident Evil 4 will be mine when it's $20. I have no reason whatsoever to buy that game right now because I haven't finished the second scenario of Resident Evil 2 Remake. I haven't touched the Resident Evil 3 Remake. I haven't finished Spider-Man. I haven't finished Dante's Inferno. How old is Dante's Inferno? I haven't finished it. what is it called?
Not Fallen Order. What you have finished.
Fallen Order. What's the other one?
I don't know, but you need to start with the list of what you have finished.
I got stuff I finished. I finished Mario Odyssey. I finished Mario Galaxy. Actually, Mario Galaxy.
About stuff that's
I got
like
all.
Galaxy.
Mario Galaxy was amazing. That's literally my favorite Mario game. Like
Galaxy?
Yeah, Mario, the 3D one.
Fair.
It's my favorite 3D Mario, period. And I managed to get all 120 stars for both Mario and Luigi. Yeah, Dante's Inferno is like 16 years old, but they made it compatible on the Xbox Series S, which also made it look better than it did on a 360, which made it me want to actually play it, even though I should have played it a long time ago.
Was good.
Yeah, it is.
Honestly, Dante's Inferno was until I kind of saw what's that game? Binding of Isaac was probably one of the most fucked up games I'd ever seen in my life.
I'm gonna tell you, Binding of Isaac is like 10 times more fucked up than Dante's Inferno.
I agree. And that's saying something because Dante's Inferno was pretty jacked. Anyway, guys, that's enough for the news. We're gonna hit the first segment.
Make sure y'all are hearing the remotes when you can't see them. Just make sure.
I saw the levels, so they should be able to hear them. So I think everything
Just
should be
watch
good.
the anime.
I did check. I heard myself laugh. So
Cool bean.
Oh,
I watched the anime of Dante's Inferno. I saw that a long time ago.
All right, guys. So some time ago, Vince McMahon had shockingly unretired and reappeared as the chairman of the WWE. The move saw Stephanie McMahon, his daughter, step down as co-president of WWE and leaving Nick Khan as the sole president. There was rumors at the time that Vince was the entire reason Vince had returned was to sell the company, but the rumor was he was going to sell it to the Saudis, which I created a quick clip and put it out there that was laughably ridiculous to think that Vince would sell it to the Saudis. I didn't think that would ever happen. But he did end up selling it, and he sold it to someone that I never saw coming. But when you think about it, it makes sense. Endeavor has purchased WWE and is merging it with its own fighting promotion, UFC, to become a new publicly traded company. So literally like WWE and UFC did the fusion dance and merged together into one, except for they won't be splitting apart after 30 minutes. This is permanent. This is going to be, it's almost like a Patara fusion this time. It's not a halfway fusion dance fusion. The details say that WWE's merge will see Vince become the chairman of the new company. He will not be overseeing creative, which will leave Triple H right in the spot that he's been in the past few years. Nick Khan will remain president of WWE. Dana White will remain president of UFC. And that is what it is. So Vince actually appeared on CNBC the next day with the most fucked up mustache I've seen in a while. I'm not gonna lie, man. That picture of Vince was
he looks
hilarious.
like John Waters.
He looked like who?
Dude, look up John Waters. And look at his mustache. He got the same fucking mustache as John Waters.
Yo, Bream was like, he looked like 0-0 to Gay Blade.
Look at John Waters.
He looked like multiple people.
Yo, man, I mean, for real.
He came back looking like J. Jonah Jameson. Some other folks said bloated Walt Disney.
Bloated Walt Disney. No, that's a good one. So,
like, bro, wow.
That's crazy. So, the terrible mustache gaff aside, what do you guys think of this merger?
Do that.
I don't know. What do you guys think of the merger?
Look, he said, "Look at me, Vince McMahon."
Right.
And Linda says it's okay now. We're billionaires.
Wow,
I'm about to get more bitches.
But no, seriously, what do you guys think of this merger? UFC and WWE are now one promotion, essentially, or one company.
I mean, if they don't do what they did when they bought the WCW, then it's going to be all right. Don't try to merge the two. Just UFC do what they do.
That's my fear.
WWE do what they do. Don't have because I do know that wrestling in the past would have shoot fights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's actual fighting or whatnot.
Yeah.
I hope they just leave the wrestling to the wrestler and leave the UFC, and just be underneath the same company, because there's many companies out there that do stuff like that, like own. I mean, look at the what's the name of that company that owns everything, Black Rock or some shit. They're able to keep stuff separately. They're not trying to just merge into one big lump mass.
Well, I mean, if you guys think about it, the history of the WWE and the UFC is gone way, way back, even back to the 90s when Ken Shamrock, was the first crossover WWE superstar coming from the UFC to the WWE. Obviously, he was later followed by, in the reverse, by Brock Lesnar, who started out WWE, went to UFC, then has been back and forth, and then obviously Ronda Rousey coming over. Who was the other guy? There's another. I'm sorry.
The Beast Severn is the only other person I can think of.
Well, there's a more recent superstar. I think. I think he was. Huh? Who was that?
Matt Riddle, I believe, was
okay.
Another crossover.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, there's maybe rumors that Connor McGregor may come over. Who would? Man, could you imagine though? Connor coming to WWE.
I could see that, because after getting hurt, your career isn't going to be the same. Like getting a serious injury. So yeah, I could see him doing something that's a little lighter that is still bringing money.
I mean, it really depends on how. I mean, that was a pretty bad injury, but I know Anderson Silva wasn't 100% the same, but I mean, he did come back for a decent stint though. Like when he messed up his leg, but
yes, and Connor is a tough guy, but given the choice to put on this performance and make your money, or get back out there and risk your leg again.
true. That's true.
A lot of the UFC. That is like a main fear of mine, that it's gonna be like too much crossover. I don't want it.
I can see that.
Fair. That's fair. Because it's, I mean, look, it's already been like a pretty long-standing partnership. So like it's something to work. I mean, the best thing about it is Vince isn't in creative, so that's really the best news.
Falling into the matrix.
So, but
I think we all are.
But
I think we all are. I think the internet is kind of being a little bit funky.
You a little choppy.
Yeah, internet's being a little bit funky.
Went weird.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say because I did nothing.
Right. No,
are y'all in the storm territory?
We were, but I think I mean, just bear with us, guys. We're having a little bit of some bitrate issues. We'll make sure that we get it. Wow, no tornadoes. I mean, we're down in the basement, so we should be okay. Honestly.
Hope so.
But in any case, GQ, what do you think of the possible crossover appeal of WWE and UFC merging? Like, what do you think is going to happen here?
I think what you're going to run into, and Amarak alluded to it, you're going to have some of that crossover appeal. Certain fighters can, cross, because I mean, you've had Cain Velasquez has done it. Obviously, Brock Lesnar is the most successful story of it being done because he's been a world champion on both sides. But like Amarak said, it's probably going to be more appealing for the fighters that might be nearing the end of their their professional fighting career, I guess, in the sense of actual fighting versus predetermined fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be like, for example, an Anderson Silva, who of course destroyed his leg in an actual real fight, would of course be able to come back and do predetermined sequences and stuff like that. So I mean, it's there's a lot there, but like Dido said, I don't want to see them get into a situation where they're trying to do ridiculous crossovers and stepping on each other's toes constantly. It's like, look, WWE's been a very successful thing for a very long time. So as UFC, you can have little, back and forth cross promotion stuff, but I am not trying to see, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to see, even though Wolverine Solid X said it, I'm not trying to see Connor McGregor versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Let those two be separate, because I don't think that they're going to mix very well.
Okay.
I mean, didn't Lashley fight?
Bobby.
I'm not a huge wrestling.
No, Lashley, he did Strikeforce or one of the other ones that wasn't UFC, but it was, he did mixed martial arts as well.
Oh, we'll just have to see what exactly comes out of the merger. It's an exciting time, I guess, really, for both of them. I feel like this merge is going to probably is going to benefit WWE more than anybody else. UFC, you didn't really need them. WWE kind of needed them, if for lack of a better term.
Vince just wanted that money. He wanted
100%.
that money because,
like, dude, do you remember how much he bought the WWE for?
He said $1 million in 1982.
Yeah, it's 9 point something billion dollars.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a turnaround.
It is, definitely, but it could be underlying stuff, because apparently, if everybody remembers, that he got caught, kicked off the board, and all this other stuff because of his penar couldn't stay in his pants.
His penar
couldn't stay in his pants. And I mean, I understand, completely, but like, if you have conversations with your, what you call it, and say, I want to be polyamorous, I'm rich as shit, and and either that or you get a divorce. You don't have to go around and sneak around, just communicate. But regardless of that, we don't know what
Jeter,
what could have come of that. Meaning he could have lost a lot more, so maybe he sold it so that stays safe, because you never know. Maybe more people are going to come after him, or maybe all that stuff is done and he just wanted the money. Because, he's almost 80, right?
Yeah, all I know is if I was in his position, I wouldn't have been married. All them different divas during the Attitude Era.
Derek Jeter.
Either way, I would not have been married.
He was married well before all that.
I understand that, but I would have been writing myself into them storylines just like him. It's like Trish Stratus, Lita, Tori Wilson. The list is very long.
All them hot ass women. You got money. He didn't have to be married now. I believe in the sanctity of marriage just as much as everybody else. But if you're gonna have that much temptation around you, right?
That's what I'm talking
I mean,
about.
look,
Just saying.
There was
saying.
there was just some low key weird stuff saying it, stuff that was going on in like the probably like mid-late 90s and stuff or whatever that like kind of got swept in around. I don't know if Vince was directly involved or not, but I mean, it ain't like Vince wasn't telling us what he was doing like over the years on Raw and SmackDown. Like we all thought it was storyline. We were like, no, that's probably how he really got down. I mean, that's the reason why that Stacy Keibler segment is a meme now. So it's just like, sheesh. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, the only thing that comes to mind was probably one of the reasons why Sable left the first time, because I think there was like an issue.
Here's the thing: Sable was hired just because Vince had basically a super duper crush on her. That's the only reason Mark Merrow even got a job, because Sable was there when he went in for his interview, and Vince saw Sable, was like, oh. Yeah, can she come as part of the package deal? Basically, like Mark Merrow only has Sable to thank for his career even getting started.
Right, and I just think like it more than less kind of snowballed from there, because I just remember hearing some really weird stuff happening since then. But you know, it's Vince. I mean, are any of us surprised?
No, we are not. No, we are not. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and then jump to the second segment of the show. Be right back in about 45 seconds.
The entire Culture Junkies crew would like to thank you for tuning into our programming. We hope you are enjoying our content as much as we enjoy making it. One thing that helps us continue bringing you our unique content is viewer support. By visiting the Culture Junkies Patreon page, you will have the opportunity to select the support level that works best for you. Not only will your support help keep the Culture Junkie Nation growing, but you will make yourself eligible to receive patron-exclusive swag. Please take a moment to consider supporting us and join the ranks of the supporters you see listed on the screen. We would like to also give a special shout out to our Culture Junkies level and above patrons: DeMarcus Smith, Fab Nerd Life, Nanette, The Other Steve, and Black Crowned Knight. Remember, for as little as $1 a month, you can support a Culture Junkie. Thank you.
All right, guys, we're back, and we are going to hit the second segment of the show, and that is Man, oh man. We are eating good out here, junkies. I mean, really good. Not only are we getting really great movies, right? Because if you guys didn't go and see Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, you really need to go see that. It was a really, really good movie. John Wick, obviously, we just had, but we always have our eye towards the future, and dude, in the past few days, we've gotten some really, really hype trailers. I mean, let's recount. We got a Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer.
Mm-hmm.
We got Secret Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
We got Blue Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
We got Barbie.
Mm.
We got the return of Oliver Queen. Oh, right. Nobody really cares about the Arrowverse anymore because, you know, it's about to be over. But there's plenty of things that we are pretty excited about. So of all the trailers that I just mentioned to you, Junkies, which ones piqued your interest the most, and which ones are you most excited to see worst to first, I guess? Who wants to go first?
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead, Fallen.
Well, top of the list for me is Blue Beetle,
Mm-hmm.
just off GP. I mean, I was looking forward to that when the movie first got announced, because Blue Beetle was always one of those characters that I really like the fact that they're giving shine to. So when it kind of got off the ground, and it was just like, hey, look who we got, and got Miguel from Cobra Kai, and I'm like, okay, this is perfect. Okay, let's see where this goes. So I've been patiently waiting for the trailer to drop, and it dropped. It didn't disappoint as far as I'm concerned. Like, is it me or does so far like this probably looks like the cleanest DC movie so far?
Explain cleanest. What do you mean by that?
Because it's just like in the other movies, like the DC movies kind of had like a thing to where it's like the effects kind of were either looked a little grainy or a little weird somehow. But it's like with Blue Beetle's costume and how it moves and everything or whatever, like it looks clean, you know? And it's like, and like it's kind of ironic because like I didn't really put two and two together, but someone else mentioned that it kind of has a Super Sentai vibe to it in a way.
Sure.
And it's like
I can see that.
And it was like, but I think it's like, however they're doing this, it was like whoever like the visual effects people are, like it really seems like they really took their time to kind of really just do the work, because I don't think there was like any not really like cartoonishly looking parts in there, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
So it looks like it just looks clean, and plus the design, the Beetle armor design just is like awesome.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome.
Also, More Nightmare highlighted a message.
He did. He said, "Do y'all remember what Blue Beetle looked like on Smallville back in the day?" Man, yes, I saw the comparison.
I forgot. I don't even remember that.
It's bad, man.
I saw
really
a
bad.
picture of it recently,
it was
and
really bad.
Really bad.
It was really
could tell
bad.
It was cut out of foam. They didn't freaking like. And I'm just thinking to myself, look. The Guyver came out in like the early 90s, right? That costume looked really good.
Yeah, it did.
It's possible for them to make things look good that's not CG.
But what are the trailers? Which ones did you like the most besides Blue Beetle?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, well, Blue Beetle was great, but man, that Secret Wars is, I got the
Secret Invasion?
Yeah, excuse me, not Secret Wars.
Yeah,
Secret Invasion.
Like, please, you have to be very specific. Yeah, but
yeah, because you know what, comic books and all that other good stuff and blah, 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 and the yakety schmackety. But I look forward to it. I have a feeling that the Marvel haters are going to come out en masse, except for it's a man and he's a black dude, so they're probably not going to hate on that one just because it's Sam. I've never seen anybody hate on a Samuel L. Jackson movie, even when he was up Leonardo DiCaprio's butt. People still love Sam. So
they more love Tarantino than him. Snakes on the Plane now. Come on,
Sam Santana.
Yeah, but just the idea that
me personally,
I wish it was a movie more so than a TV series, because I doing week to week doesn't bother me for some shows. But then other shows where you're excited about them, and depending on what the show is, like I cannot have so much excitement, but then an episode will show up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to wait till next week. It's very difficult. And this show looks like I wish, but it's probably so much they can't contain. Hopefully it's done right. Hopefully it has the same feel as Winter Soldier. That's what my expectation is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to keep the expectation
low. It definitely looks like one of those spy thrillers.
I hope they do a goddamn good job, and I look 100%. Forward to that one.
Amrock, what was another favorite trailer that you saw that you liked out of the list?
Let's get this out the way right now. After seeing the cast list for the Barbie movie,
I knew he was gonna say it. I knew he was gonna say it.
To go see this thing.
Yo, man, it looks funny.
I'll watch it on HBO Max.
It looks like it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
Enjoyable.
Okay.
To say at this point in life, that Barbie is interesting enough for me to want to go see it.
Well, yeah, and I was just getting ready to get to that. Who would have imagined that any of us here would have said, I want to go see a Barbie movie? Like, what? No, the movie looks really funny. The whole Ken versus Ken thing between Simu Liu and Ryan Gosling, that looks like it's going to be hilarity. You know,
I think there's also a black Ken in there too.
Yo, man, Issa Rae as Black Barbie.
Yeah,
and I hate even saying that, Black Barbie, but all the women in there were Barbie, essentially, right?
Like all Barbies.
So Issa Rae is Barbie. Margot Robbie is as Barbie. Everything about it just screams pretty awesome. I mean,
Michael Cera's in it.
Neon,
right?
Everything neon yellow rollerblades, like hilarious, super hilarious.
Wow.
GQ, what was out of those ones? Which one did you think was pretty
My
high?
list does not include Barbie. No
I'm sure it does.
there. I don't know. Blue Beetle looks interesting. I'm just hoping that they stay away from keeping it rooted in the 90s, in the sense of the way Morbius was rooted in the 90s.
Black Adam.
Dude,
Black Adam. Yes, if they can get with the times and give us a really good solid, fun story, then cool. But if it's gonna feel like, you know, a 90s comic book movie with a, you know, good polish of CG and paint and everything, then I'm not really gonna like it. But, you know, I do like the main actor. He did an amazing job in Cobra Kai. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to offer for Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
And obviously Spider-Verse Part 2 is a must. That's already been. As soon as they announced it, I was already ready to go see that one.
So I got a question for you. So the question I have for you, so some people saw the trailer. A lot of people saw the trailer, really, really liked it. But I don't know, man. As I was watching it, I had this feeling that they was dropping a little bit too much in that trailer. Did you feel that? Did you feel that way?
Spider-Verse, not, because here's the thing, man. There's so many different ways they can go with that because it's a multiverse movie. So they could be giving us, you know, stuff. They could be showing us stuff that's literally just like him dreaming, and not even be actual, you know, real, you know, relative to the story or anything. So I don't know.
It is Sony.
Well, again, Sony did a really good job with the first one, so I'm not really gonna. You know, they've already got pretty decent track record with their Spider-Verse stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's only part. I know it's only going to be part 1, so it's going to end like finish in half finished, like when it's all said and done. But you know, it is the thing to where it's just like I give Sony Animation their props because they put out something really. I will arguably say classic in its own right because it left a positive impression on everybody, and to the point where everybody goes back to it in some fashion or another. But I don't trust their marketing half the time,
bro.
Especially with something that was successful previously, and they're trying to market on it again, and it's just like, okay, guys. Don't blow your load here. Come on now. Like,
don't blow your load here. I mean, wow. Okay. That's all right. Okay.
They've done it before. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw a highlighted message in there. Who was that?
Yeah, that's from Takeem. He says Blue Beetle looks like Guyver and Starkey had a baby that was trained by Zordon.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Well, right. Blue Beetle, if you look at it, just me watching that trailer. Now, I don't know how many of you old heads are out there that watched the anime from the 80s and the 90s, but Guyver and Blue Beetle are damn near the same thing. Alien technology that got attached to a kid. One of them is sentient, the other one not really, but they both transform when they need to and can create weapons out of their body and kick ass, basically. And then an evil organization that wants to take it back. It's damn near the same thing.
Why did Dido read that message like the little Mexican kid from Wicked City English dub?
Because I think that's funny.
Hilarious. All right, guys. You know, we'll definitely be keeping an eye out on these trailers and more. I think the consensus is Blue Beetle probably the best trailer that we saw, especially since it was our real first look at it. Across the Spider-Verse, probably number 2, number 3. I don't know. The debate may be between Barbie, Secret Invasion, and Barbie may be tied because I think, you know, I don't think
John Cena is in it.
Yeah, John Cena as another Ken. It's gonna be good. No, it's gonna be good.
It's just a star-studded freaking movie because of the phenomenon that what Barbie is, and I won't be seeing it in the theater, but I probably will watch it on W.
You don't think a double girl's gonna drag you to see it?
No, come on now, dude. She doesn't even know it's coming out.
Oh, okay.
I would have to tell her, hey, this movie's coming out. And
she puts the casual in casuals.
She is very much so. Her.
All right, guys.
Here's the thing. Speaking of theater, Barbie going. None of us can go to that unless we have a significant other or a little niece to take. That would be
how you figure? How you figure? It's just a funny movie.
Nah, dude.
Come on, man.
Nah. Did you really imagine going up to the ticket counter?
At your age, you that afraid of what somebody gonna say?
No. Cancel culture is a real thing. Cancel culture is a real thing.
I know it is.
Let me, as a grown man, go up to the ticket counter by myself.
I need one ticket for Barbie.
I need one for Barbie, please. Hell no, dude. That is not happening.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. He put it in my head. Yeah, I can see that.
Dude, that's like going around Toys R Us. That's like walking around Toys R Us with a Barbie. You don't have another little niece to give it to. You just walking around with it like, you know. So, hell nah, dude.
So bribe some little girl off the street,
They
right?
got the self-help kiosk. Just go to the self-help kiosk and buy your ticket.
It don't matter, dude. You still a grown man by yourself in that theater with all them other little girls in there looking creepy as all get out, dude.
That would be
a little man. I don't know, man. Hilarious.
Unless you go in there, yeah, like Amrock is thinking playing, going down there 15 dudes deep. Like we all up here, we take up this whole row.
Right.
We're watching.
15
we're gonna
dudes
watch all
deep?
the Barbie movies.
Going to see a Barbie movie?
Yeah.
Come on, nah. Send all the Barbies to me, Birdie Kawhi says. All right, guys, let's move on to the last segment of the day. What brought us out here, what I want to talk about today is the dawn of DC. Is, you know, I'm a big comic book head, and it's kind of in my intro. I'm a comic book junkie, 100%. I still read Marvel. I still read DC. I still read Image, you know, read manga too. But DC has always had a special place in my heart because Superman is my all-time favorite hero. This year marks his 85th anniversary. Warner Brothers itself, who owns DC, is seeing is 100 years in existence. That's neither here nor there. The dawn of DC is a brand new jumping on point, they're saying, for new and old readers. This isn't a reboot, so they're not restarting the universe again like all these other crises that they seemingly have every other year. But the purpose of the dawn of the dawn of DC is they say it's the DC universe coming into the light, which I think is their phrasing of saying that they're trying to shed the DC is too dark, excuse me, reputation that they have, that DC is just way too dark. So
coming out of the closet.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to say that, coming out of the closet, because that's I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. But in any case, the selling point of Dawn of DC is, you know, not somewhat setting an exciting new status quo for established characters like Batman, Superman, you know, Green Lantern, Flash, but also elevating, you know, lesser known heroes like Cyborg is getting another solo series. Hawkgirl is getting a solo series. Kendra Saunders, not Shire Hall. You know, Kendra Saunders, the black Hawkgirl.
Oh, with the Mr. Ed teeth?
Yes. What? The one, the Mster Ed teeth. What? Wait, what? You caught me off guard with that one. Anyway,
Arrowverse,
okay.
Mr. Ed teeth going. She was really cute until she smiled.
Right. Okay. I see what he's saying now. I had put her out of my mind. Thank you for reminding me of her. In any case, so most of the established heroes like Batman, Superman, The Flash, hell, even Green Arrow, they all have actually extended families. Like we're talking like Superman is not just a dad to John Kent. He actually has 2 adopted kids from Warworld. He's still married to Lois. He's got, you know, Connor Kent is still around. You've got Conkinan, the Chinese Superman, is in the family. You got John and Natasha Irons. You know, he's got a big old family, kind of like, you know, Batman has a big family of like Robins and stuff like that he takes care of. But the big twist with Superman now is that, you know, while Lex Luthor is in jail, Clark Kent had outed himself to the world, and Lex didn't like that. So Lex decided to brutally use Manchester Black's mind warping powers and broadcast a signal across the world that says that, hey, anybody that knows Clark Kent is Superman or finds out that Clark Kent is Superman, they will probably die. So there's that. But Lex also gave him control of LexCorp and rebranded it as Supercorp. So now Supercorp belongs to Clark, kinda. But we'll have to see what happens with that.
I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in before I forget about them. It sounds very Multiverse of Madness. I'm sorry, no. I take that back. That sounds very No Way Home of him.
In what way?
I'm going to broadcast out a thing to make people forget that Clark Kent is Superman. Sounds very much like I'm going to broadcast out a thing to make sure that people forget. I can see that. And then 2, you can't make Superman relatable just by having him adopt a whole bunch of kids. This dude ain't Brad Pitt. Like, what the hell, man? Like, We're gonna get you, and not only that, you adopted some kids from World of all places. So
yeah, we'll see.
Again,
I mean,
we'll have to see.
It's an interesting spot they put him in.
Yeah,
it 100% is. The new status quo with Batman is Batman has no money. He seemingly has no trouble having all the tech that he needs, which is weird.
Got your credit.
which is weird. I mean, this man literally in a recent issue did a orbital drop to the planet in nothing but his batsuit. Come on, man. It's crazy. In any case, he still got his family of Robins. He and Selena are, for the most part, still really attached to each other, profess their love for one another. But the Bat family is not very welcome in Gotham because they don't have the support of the mayor and they don't have the support of the GCPD. And which is weird because the new commissioner of the GCPD is someone that we all know, Renee Montoya. And Renee Montoya moonlights as a vigilante herself, the Question. So it's odd.
I mean, but if you spend most of your time going around the city beating up every bum that commits little petty crimes, you ain't gonna have a lot of support of the people. Even people crippled and broken down on that side of the street every night. I ain't gonna support you.
It all comes down to, when you look at it, what has really improved in Gotham after all these years? And the answer is not much. It's a lot.
That too.
It's like, look, Damian has called Bruce out multiple times. About Arkham being a revolving door. So many people getting caught up, killed, kidnapped, poisoned, brainwashed, you name it. And it's just like, dude, it's like, look, I hate Bruce. That's all I can say. That's where I'm at. I hate Bruce.
No, I like it. No, I like it. But probably the biggest change of all of these is that the Justice League is not the big team. It's now Nightwing has, after the most recent crisis, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, please. In any case, after that, Nightwing has almost been handed the baton as basically the next future leader of the DC hero community. Not Superman, not Batman, not any of their Robins. Nightwing, Dick Grayson is considered to be the guy everybody looks up to now. Besides them, which I think is pretty cool, seeing as how Dick, besides Bruce and Clark, probably has the biggest popularity outside of maybe Wonder Woman. I feel like he's more popular than the Flash. I feel like he's maybe even more popular than Wonder Woman, if you think about it, right?
You know what? I think there's a lot of truth in that, and it's also on top of, I think, like as far as morale with teammates, they trust Dick a lot. So that makes the most sense to me. Like that makes the most logical sense. Like he's basically been the most reliable one, like for the 100%. Longest, and he has everyone's trust, so it makes sense. He's
never been corrupted. He's always been on the straight and narrow, and he, much like Clark, he's like a beacon of hope. So in any case, the other flip of Dick is that because when Alfred was killed by Bane a few years ago, which that is a death that is stuck. I thought they would have reversed that by now, but they have not. So Alfred is dead, but he amassed a whole bunch of money from working for the Waynes, millions upon millions of dollars. He gave it all to Dick. Dick is a millionaire, and Dick Grayson decided to do the one thing that Bruce never did. He gave it away. He put it in a trust and poured it back into the community.
Hold on. So Alfred spending all that time sweeping up, dusting vases and whatnot, amassed millions of dollars. So that means Bruce was overpaying, I guess, for his services. Alfred, ain't nobody there but him and Bruce. So like, there's only two people there. Like dust, you might dust once or twice a week maybe. So Bruce overpaid him, and then he spent all his money on an escort.
Wait,
whatever.
Alfred was the man in the chair for many years as for Batman.
Yeah.
He was also his nurse. He would always patch him up.
Again, I'm not arguing
his
any
meals.
of that,
Come
but
on
the
now.
fact that he gave all his money to an escort at the end of the day.
And really, man?
Yeah, he said he was giving it up for dick. So.
Oh, wow. This guy. Oh, my goodness. This guy.
Hey.
In any case, so the other status quo with Dick Grayson is that while, yes, he's the leader of the Titans, you know, he's always been defined by primarily his two romantic relationships between Starfire and Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. Well,
yes, Starfire
is in the past. He is in a committed relationship with Barbara Gordon, and like both of them, which is pretty cool.
That's a horrible choice.
You feel like that's a horrible choice?
Starfire
between
way
I know what he's saying. Between
here.
Starfire and Batgirl, you gonna pick her? Like
alien chick, man.
This guy, you something else, man.
Man, please.
You are something else.
I mean, like a whole lot of vaginal activity to me.
Wow, you something else, man.
I mean, look. I think like as far as their complicated relationship between the three of them, especially that infamous marriage proposal, marriage invitation.
Oh, with from Batmite, when Batmite did that a few months ago.
Whatever the case.
Yeah.
Like,
you talking about?
No. You know what I'm talking
wrong.
about.
That shit was wrong. That Dick did. Man, that shit was wrong. 100%. Okay.
A lot of people,
you want to tell the story?
A lot of people, including myself, that were Nightwing fans, were heavily disappointed with that writing choice.
Yeah, man, like, that shit was bad.
Because it was like, dude, it's bad enough that like they continued the whole thing with making Barbara paralyzed from killing jokes, which was supposed to be a standalone, but for whatever reason they decided to canonize that. You have an on and off thing with Barbara. You're supposed to be with Starfire.
I'm glad they retconned that. I am.
And it's like, dude, you sleep with her and then give her an invitation to your wedding. Because
yes.
Like, and I think like they were trying to use the excuse that it was some like weird Tamaranian custom or some stupid shit.
What, to have sex with your ex-girlfriend to say goodbye? Like, what?
Something I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. Like,
no. It just makes no sense.
I'm like, no, get this out of here.
It was bad.
Like that was foul.
It was really bad. It was really bad. So, the other big thing, I guess, is that the Titans now will be ascending because the Titans are, Nightwing's team. The Titans will be ascending to the role of the premier super team in the DCU. And it is a standard roster that you guys are all familiar with the Titans. It's Nightwing, Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, Cyborg. And they're going to be tackling the biggest threats, I guess, in the DCU. Honestly, I personally don't see how that's going to go very well for them. We'll have to see. The Titans have never operated on that level before, so I guess we'll have to see what happens. But the other reason to be excited is the elevation of minority heroes. There's an initiative called We Are Legends, where DC is creating a bunch of South Asian and Asian American heroes for other communities to kind of get involved with. One of which is called there's a non-binary Chinese character named Xanthi who is getting a solo book, and their powers are to call forth objects from the spirit world. It's heavily steeped in Chinese mysticism. There's a secretive South Asian vigilante group of reluctant metahumans. Basically, they were turned into metahumans called the Vigil. That looks pretty interesting as well. It looks like it's kind of going to be on the dark side, but these are all things that are going to be coming forth from the dawn of DC. And there's other things coming, like Jon Stewart is getting his own book again as Green Lantern. Hal Jordan is getting a book. Hawk Girl has a book, like I said. John and Natasha Irons still works. They're having their own book. So there's a lot of legacy characters. Cool. But there's a lot of newer characters that are also getting prominent. So I'm actually really excited for the dawn of DC. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see where it goes. There's also going to be a Batman Brave and the Bold. You guys remember the Brave and the Bold, the old Batman Brave and the Bold books, where basically it was like Marvel team up where they will put Spider-Man and another character together. They're bringing that back, and it's basically going to be Batman and another character, teaming up. And each book every month is going to be like 85 pages or something like that. It looks like it's going to be pretty.
Pages.
Yeah, 85 pages. They said.
Man, all they're gonna do is just bring on the character to make fun of the fact that Bruce is broke now.
I mean,
That's all they're
maybe.
gonna do.
Honestly, I think the concept of Batman being broke after having him being so reliant on technology is fascinating, but they never go there. They always seem to give him more toys somehow, some way. It's weird, but in any case,
Pretty quiet spitting
Iron
truth
Man
in
was
the
broke
chat.
first.
What you say?
Pretty quiet spitting truth in the chat. But Fallen said Iron Man was broke first.
I mean, I guess. Oh, and she also said that Dick was stupid. Alien and thick and fine. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, 100%.
Starfire a million times over Barbara.
It is what it is. Honestly, guys, I would love to hear what you guys think about that and more. But the time is yours now. The power is yours. The power is yours. In the clip, see if he hit the button. He did not hit the button. Oh, he did hit the button.
Oh, there
What are
he
y'all?
is.
Yeah, there he is. What are y'all's thoughts on the new photos of Lady
You have
Gaga
to
as Harley? As Harley and Joker 2 on the iconic stairs, her makeup as Harley Quinn. Honestly, I
honestly think this movie is going to be a waste of time. I mean,
I have to
listen,
agree.
the songs are probably going to be good. They got someone
Sure.
that's a great vocalist, but
Sure.
I mean, do we need a sequel that's going to be a musical? Like,
You knew when Joker made $1 billion, you knew you was gonna get a sequel. Now, come on now.
Yeah.
Look,
I
don't
knew
need a
that,
sequel
but
that's a
still.
musical, unless you have someone who is also insane, like Lady freaking Gaga, to try, at least make the attempt. I can applaud the attempt, and I'm gonna give it a little bit of attention.
I mean, I think I think on some aspect it will work, but I am just not interested. It's
I
just like
have to agree. I'm not.
The first movie did what it was supposed to do, but it would have been much better as a one-off. But we know how Warner Brothers are when it comes to movies succeeding, or any studio for that matter. So it's
all right. Brady Quiet says can't wait to cosplayer. Looking forward to that. That'd be interesting.
Okay, no, that should be pretty
there's
interesting.
going to be a lot of cosplaying.
All right, guys, what's next?
Well, Grand Fanos Gaming said it didn't need to happen.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
no, that's true.
It happened most definitely. Wolverine, who said it about 15 times in the chat that Mando was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was a very good episode today, Wolf.
Honestly, some people didn't like it.
Well, because that's all I hear from them. I don't fucking.
This is the only thing that I would say. I will not say. I'm not saying that Bryce Dallas Howard is a bad director.
You better not say that.
No, she's not. But
Okay.
I do think that the episodes that she's directed, even from the first season, were probably the weakest.
Yeah, that's possible.
I have to
What you
disagree
call
with
it?
that
Let's
one.
see. We got to highlight Taco Bell or Del Taco. Grand Finals Gaming. That's a hard question, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Taco Bell has Mexican pizzas. They're back again, and Mexican pizzas are greater than everything when it comes to fast food taco places. Not real taco places, not real taco spots, not authentic. I'm just talking about the Americanized taco. Mexican pizza is better than everything. But Del Taco has French fries that you can get meat, guacamole, cheese, and sour cream on them. It's like a Nacho Bel Grande with French fries that taste amazing. And they also have fish tacos, and they also have shrimp tacos, and they also have hamburgers. But I don't like their hamburgers, but they have them. But that's a hard question. I like them both.
That sounds like a bad trip to the bathroom.
It is
Only
for
if
him.
you ain't got an asshole
it is for them, guy. It is for this guy.
You gotta be able to clench those butt cheeks tight, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Where's my clip?
My goodness.
Clip, y'all go ahead and clip that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy, we got
my
another.
goodness. For my piece, I don't know if it's just nostalgia or whatever, but Taco Bell has always been king to me. I've tried Del Taco a couple of times, and yeah, it may taste a little bit fresher, but it just don't kick for me.
It's the nostalgic taste of it. No, I get
it just
it.
don't kick for me for whatever reason.
We got to go back and read some other stuff. Meat drapes. Mario, we're going to be talking about Mario next week.
Correct. Next week. Jumping the gun.
Other Steve. I went to go see it today. I'm the only person in our crew at the moment that has gone to go see it. Nostalgia tears, literally streaming down my face because of the greatness of what it brought to me. Remembering myself as a kid and playing through these games as the first time, but cemented me as in a video game fan was Mario back in I think it was 86, the first time I played Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, that is.
Interesting.
I personally enjoyed the film a lot.
Okay.
We'll talk more about that later.
We'll talk about it next week.
We did get Del Taco in Detroit. We do have it in Michigan.
Yes, we do. There are Del Tacos here in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yes,
more than one of them.
3 or 4 that I can think of.
All right, we got another highlighted message there.
Oh, it was highlighted. Yep.
Takeem says they are making some serious world building moves in The Mandalorian this week. Filoni and Favreau priced Star Wars can do political. Priced Star Wars? Is that what he meant? I mean, it might be a misspelling. Priced Star Wars, do political, combat, espionage, and now cop dramas all in the same Star Wars universe.
I love the cop drama episode. I really did. I really liked that episode.
You like what?
The cop drama episode? I like how they did it. I like that. I really did.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I dug it. I did.
So, Bernie Coy, why are you sad about WrestleMania? Is it the Cody Rhodes loss, or what?
Yes. What is the source of your sad? What? Okay, which was better, first night or second night? I've heard first night was actually really cool.
Actually better.
Okay.
Of course, the second night is hell. Yeah, second night, of course, did have the Roman versus Cody match. I don't know. When WrestleMania does finally come back here, it'll be interesting to see that split night thing, and I guess getting tickets for both night. But dang, that's a lot of wrestling, man.
No, that's true.
A lot of wrestling. But no. Oh, Rey Mysterio. Okay, Rey Mysterio got pretty quite sad. Old.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is kind of old. You can't do it forever.
Rey's had surgery 5 times in his left knee.
Sure has.
According to the old intro.
Speaking of knees, Shane's didn't last very long. The second
Shane like a father, like son.
He pulled a quad doing that leapfrog, dude. I'm like, I felt so bad for him because it was like at first it was like you thinking, okay, this is just a work. He faking it so he can get Miz close to him and then pound on him. Nah, he legitimately tore his quad just doing that one.
Which
leapfrog.
one?
He wasn't like his dad.
I don't know.
No, when I say
it's like it's. They've been saying that I think that it was more or less confirmed. They said that he blew out his knee. A lot of places said it was his quad or whatever, but most of the more legit media outlets said he blew out his knee.
I want to know which part of his quad. Is his Veritas medial, Veritas lateral?
Oh my God, this guy!
Which one is it?
Right. No, it's just again, it's one of those things, and again, I was watching it actually at Wolverine Solid X's spot, and no, absolutely, Marcus Takes is 400% right. He has no business trying to do a leapfrog at 52. You could tell he was winded even when he went, got to the ring because that was, it's a long ramp. WrestleMania always has a long ramp, but he ran his little happy butt down there. I'm like, okay, dude, your dad ran down to the ring all huffing and puffing and blew out both quads.
Yep.
So
sliding in that ring,
right?
Slid in there, like,
that was so funny.
In, blew out one quad, sliding in, trying to stand up, blew out the other. I'm like, oh my God!
Like, oh, this match is over. This match is over.
Tore his
Vince juice before you went out there,
right? But here's the other thing. Snoop Dogg. I think Snoop Dogg legitimately injured Miz in the first punch he threw.
Oh wow!
Because they were calling an audible. It was like once Shane blew out his knee or quad or whatever it was. Snoop they had to call audible. So Snoop was like, okay, well I'm gonna have a match with you, and he took a swing at Miz. And it looked like it was way too stiff. It was like, Snoop ain't a wrestler, but it was just like, okay, yeah.
Grand Finals Gaming says this is the best season of Mando yet just because they had Salacious B. Crumb in it. Salacious B. Crumb is the best Star Wars character ever. Prove me wrong. You can't.
Hey, I give it up to them though. They were straight snitching when the Mando showed up.
They went up the upstairs.
Right. Straight up, man. It was like, they were immediate. They were like, nah, you ain't gonna be able to shoot at us and get away with it. It was like, nah, they over there. Like, dude.
They straight up pointed them out. I was like, right on, man.
Yep. That episode was great though. That episode was amazing.
Yes, it was.
This week's episode was cool. But last week's episode was great. Was so good. It's just like it put the bar way, way up.
It did.
And again, there's nothing wrong with this week's episode. It's just after. And again, you have to look at it in a story building sense. It's like, look, man, you had your big, not climactic moment, but you had your big action sequence.
Yeah.
This is that little, the little lull after that action sequence. They telling more story. and we got a lot. We got some big story, development in this episode.
Yeah.
So for those people that were complaining, it's like this is how stories go. It can't be 100% action through the entire thing. It's like otherwise there's no story.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, go ahead.
No, I was saying it was kind of an all-star episode this week.
Man, was it ever? Honestly, man, I don't want to necessarily say any spoilers, so I won't say it for those of you who haven't watched it, so it's been out there. But, the person in question who we're talking about, she did a lot better as an actress in this one than I thought she would.
I didn't even know who it was until they
told you.
Because I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I'm just like, look, this person. Right. Granted, I know who her husband was in the scene.
Well, of course,
but it's even still, and when Dido and I talked about this before the show, ain't no celebrity out there gonna turn down the chance of being Star Wars.
Hell no.
I don't give a damn
what
you do.
People need to get over that crap right now. They need to get over it. They should have got over it when NSYNC supposedly you couldn't even tell that they were in there. And Lizzo and Jack Black are big stars. They're not like itty bitty. NSYNC were big for the time.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of wasn't going to say it, but whatever. Huh? I wasn't going to say it, but whatever. You just
we were trying to keep that.
We were trying to keep that, but whatever. But it's no different than.
They spoiled it for me, so I'm spoiled it for you.
Wow, really? You gonna get them to get back anyway? So that's no different than when. What was it 2 years ago when Stacey Abrams was on Discovery? How all the right wingers were like completely up in arms because Stacey Abrams dared to be on a Star Trek show. Like politicians are Star Wars fans.
I don't know how you can be a freaking right winger and like Star Trek.
Hey!
Jordan
said Republicans buy shoes too.
Sense whatsoever.
Not even that though. I mean, like, look at Daniel Craig was in Star Wars. Freaking what was my man's name?
Oops, sorry, Takeem.
There's a lot of people that have been in Star Wars. It's like you're not gonna pass that up. If they come to you and say, "Hey, would you like to be in this episode of Star Wars?" Who's gonna be sitting there and be like, "Nah,
I know who would."
Dude,
crotchety ass Clint Eastwood. He would.
Maybe
he would.
I mean, bro, they literally had Thundercat in what was it?
Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett. Dude, Thundercat. Like, dude.
He wasn't wearing his Dragon Ball do-rag.
Danny Trejo.
He was not.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo was in that mug.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just people need to get over that crap, man. It's Star Wars. Is bigger than
Robert Rodriguez was directing episodes, so that's
that's fine. But at the same time, Danny Trejo fit perfectly for that character as the Rancor Keeper, man. It's like there's nothing wrong with having these people drop in and be various characters. It's like it's a giant galaxy. You're telling stories in a galaxy. You mean to tell me there's not going to be anybody similar to some of these other, actors and actresses playing parts? It fits. It was good. I had no problem with it. So.
Yo, wait. So that Mon Calamari at the beginning of the show, that was Tom Holland's little brother?
Yeah, Harry Holland.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I feel sorry for the character he had to play.
Yo,
my man was whipped.
Yes, he was.
But I love you. And I'm like,
I don't want to leave you.
You can go back home, and I'll just break you out again.
Like,
come
on,
like don't make it an issue. I don't want them to freaking attack
you up on the way by.
When she said,
come on, man.
When she said, "I'm not about to risk everything I worked for a little fling," he was like,
"Wait,
he's like, is that all I am to you?" She's like, "No, baby, I didn't mean it like that." Damn, so she did. She did it like that.
Hey. She's too literal. She's literal like Drax.
Right, dude.
She did say basic was not her first tongue, so
but dude, that encompassed so many different relationship problems between people and communication problems between people in that one little quick scene. I'm like,
yes,
yeah, that's
100%, man.
But
100%. No, speaking of Star Trek, Star Wars, and I know we're running close on time. Today is First Contact Day. 40 years from today is when the Vulcans are supposed to appear on Earth. Zephram Cochrane will have constructed the first warp drive engine. What's that?
Isn't the actor that played Zephram Cochrane dead?
No, he's still alive. James Cromwell? I think he's still alive.
I think James Cromwell is dead, dude.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I know. I could be wrong as well. Yeah, I could be wrong. Dido, the man on the spot, he's gonna look it up. So we'll see.
Oh no. Is his name James Caldwell?
No.
Cromwell. Yeah.
Cromwell.
No, James still kicking.
Yeah, it's also. I thought he was still alive.
We ain't gonna be around in 40 years to see the Vulcan.
Right.
Yeah, he's 83 years old. Imagine he'd be 123.
Yeah. You ain't gonna get that.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys. Any last things before we wrap up the show? I got a couple more minutes before we get in there. We're going to learn the truth about Picard's. What do you say? We're going to learn the truth about Picard's spoiler tomorrow.
Yeah, Picard's spoiler. You mean his son? That's not a spoiler. That's the whole freaking season.
Yeah, it pretty much is the whole season.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
He's still 6'7". I don't know if he's still 6'7". Once you get old, you start to shrink.
I heard Picard is Mando level good. Look, man,
Picard is fucking good,
as much as
dude.
I have liked Star Trek Discovery, surprisingly, because I shitted on the show when it was first announced, and I really love Strange New Worlds. Yeah. Without question, Picard season 3 is the best Star Trek I've seen in years.
Yeah, it is
in
really.
years.
In other words, some characters endure more so than some of the other characters they come up with.
I don't know. It's yes, it's the nostalgia factor because all of the Star Trek Next Generation cast is in it, but the writing is just so good.
It is really good. Right?
It is so good.
Again, it could be writing. It could be the gravitas of the various actors playing roles that they are perfect
do
for.
have that.
So I mean, it could be a number of different things.
Yes,
but again, it goes to show that Next Generation cast was classic, man. Like that was a solid cast, and Deep Space Nine also had a very solid cast. So
and so did Voyager, despite what some people
100%.
think.
All right, Grand Finals Gaming with the last entry before we get out of here. Best 70s horror film. Could
Dawn
anybody
of the
say?
Dead.
I was going to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, maybe.
Dawn of the Dead for me.
Okay, George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. You can't go wrong with that one, though.
Have to go with the Of Deads.
Can't go wrong with that.
Which one? Amarak?
I'm saying I'm with Dino on this one. Like,
yeah, Dawn of the Dead. Yeah,
Dawn of the Dead is my favorite zombie movie. Period. Like, I love that one. The original Dawn.
That's how it was pretty much introduced.
Marcus 864, if you jumped into season 3 of Picard, would you be lost? No, there'd be minor story elements that you'd be missing out on, but nothing that you couldn't just get up to speed on.
He would probably
really
want to
fast.
know why they're talking about a positronic part of somebody who's somebody.
Sure, no, I get that.
Know that
the whole thing that they found at Daystrom Station that
you'd be like, wait a minute.
You'd be like, wait a minute, what?
How?
Right. You'd be like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah,
but other than that,
Cream brought up a really interesting thing. He said Deanna Troi was the baddest in the galaxy. Proved me wrong. But then Hand of Omega said he'd take Crusher over Troy.
I wouldn't. He crazy.
But wait, I'm wondering why though.
He crazy. He likes redheads. I bet you that's what it is.
Yeah, it's probably that.
It's probably that.
He likes redheads.
I'm sure it's it.
Or maybe it's something that has to do with the two different characters.
Look, man, Deanna was bad as hell. Like, okay. First season, I didn't think so.
Here's the crazy thing.
About her,
they gave her those black contacts. Her actual eyes are hazel. She is gorgeous in person, like outside of the makeup and whatnot.
Yo, man.
But, okay, so wait
a minute, hold on. Takeem's saying it too. Okay,
Crusher all day.
Okay.
He be crushing on Crusher.
Okay,
I be crushing on Crusher.
So you can understand how bemusing I find it.
Okay,
that you're trying to run away from.
Okay, all right.
Who had the better body though?
Grand Finals Gaming says, "See you next week after the new Demon Slayer season." Well, it does start. It does start next week.
Oh, do I watch that week to week or do I wait? Because I waited for freaking My Hero Academia. I could not do My Hero Academia week to week. That was so goddamn good. That was the best freaking season.
It was really good.
Oh boy,
I got a lot of catching up to
do.
boy.
Preem, I know Preem is trolling because he said Maisel Barrett locks on Troy over Dr. Crusher.
Well, that's because she was in heat in that entire episode.
Like all
what
the
about
time,
Tasha Yar? Did nobody remember Tasha Yar when she hooked up with Data? What she was wearing?
I didn't care.
Which way? Which
Tasha Yar?
Tasha in the first season.
When she hooked up with Data.
Yeah.
What she was wearing?
Which was crazy. Like, how did that work?
I mean, he said he was fully functional, and he probably didn't need to take breaks.
Right. Said he was fully. Anyway, guys, we're going down off the beaten path.
What's that?
We are going
what
crazy.
What do they call that on the internet?
So next week's show, obviously, as we talked about, next week's show is going to be the Super Mario Brothers movie live reaction. We'll have seen the movie. Dido's already seen it, but both GQ and I will be seeing it before this weekend. Yep. So we'll be talking about it next week right here, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central on Culture Junkies Live. So I want to thank you all for being on the show with us today. Make sure that you come back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, for another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. From my friends, the great Dadakuji, GQ, Fallen Marvel, and King Amarak, I'm Kishiro. See you guys next week.
Bye, everybody. Mario.
Have a good one, y'all.
Mario. 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 That chant right there.
Uh-oh. Speaking of which, this came in for me today.
Uh-oh. What's that?
I can't really see the. What is it?
Oh, nice.
Is that the old 90?
What is it? We can't see it.
94
looks like
movie.
You can't see it.
On Blue. No, because we're on the six credits, man. We can't
see, man. The window's like really teeny. You're gonna have to describe it to us.
It's a steel book for Street Fighter 94.
Oh,
so you got your bison dollars.
Yes, I do.
Oh, they gave you bison dollars.
Yeah, it comes with one bison. It comes with one bison dollar.
I almost bought it.
Bison dollar.
I almost bought it for $15 from Dish Replay, but it didn't have the bison dollars in it.
No, you have to. No, I got that.